and letting the Lord minister to us. And when an angel is speaking to you, a lot of times, I know we get caught up, we don't even know who's speaking to us. We have the slightest idea who's talking. That's how insensitive we are. And prayerfully, in our outline, we're going to go through that one of these days. We're supposed to get there about knowing the difference between God's voice, your voice, and Satan's voice. You need to know the difference between the three. Who's speaking to you and how? We need to be that sensitive to the Spirit. Because a lot of times we don't know. We think it's us. Or somebody told me to go across the street. Somebody? You know who it was? Really? Something urged me. Something? So you don't know what it was? You don't know whether it was malevolent or benevolent? You don't have the slightest idea? So you just moved because they said move, but you don't know whether it was good or bad. That's what I mean by malevolent and benevolent. You don't know if it was good or bad. Because evil spirits can have you do things too. And then you'll be out of place instead of in place. Amen. No, go over here. Go to the store. I want you to go to the store. Go, oh, okay. But really, you need to be at your house because so-and-so was stopping by. And you weren't there. See, you don't know. That's why you better know who's talking to you. You better be aware of who's speaking. Because their job is to speak and get you off. But you need to know who's talking. Or sometimes it's you that's talking. You speaking to you. You need to know the difference between the three. But see, Elijah knew. It was an angel of the Lord that spoke to him. He knew, and he knew to obey what the angel of the Lord had said. So that's one. Any questions, comments on that one? Elijah called down fire on the 50. All right, look at Exodus 13. So I said this warfare, this spiritual war has been going on for a long time. We think it just started in our generation. We are so crazy. Somehow we think everything starts with us. We give ourselves too much credit. This is a new thing. No, it's not a new thing. Solomon tells us, nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. Oh, it's a new move of God. It's not a new move of God. You just got with it. He's been doing it. He's done it before. Go research it. Look back there. See him do it there? Oh, yeah, he's been doing this. You just got the revelation. But he's been doing this. But you call it a new movement. No, it's not. No, it's not. Nothing new under the sun. He's done this. He's revealed it. He's shown it. We just getting it in our eyes. But in Exodus 13, crossing the Red Sea. How many people know that this was spiritual warfare? Crossing the Red Sea. How many people understand it? How many people understand the fact that this thing was spiritual? That to stand, mountains on this side, mountains on this side, the enemy behind you, nothing but a whole bottle of water in front of you. It's about 100 feet deep. How you getting over? Well, because God takes the cloud of day that was leading you, turns it into a pillar of fire, which is an angel, set in the back of you so that your enemy can't get to you. And then says to your leader, stretch out your rod. And when he stretches out his rod, God blows with his nostril, and all of the sea stacks up, one on one side, the other on the other side. And they cross over not on wet, muddy, or dry, completely dry ground. We're talking about 100-foot deep sea. And they crossing over on dry ground. Instantaneously. We're not talking about it took 2.5 days or 3 days to bake. No! It was dry instantly. Talking about spiritual warfare. And here's an angel of fire, pillar of fire, standing in the back there, and your enemy can't get through. Not until they cross over almost to the end, then the angel moves and let them in to entice them. So now they think, man, we're going to get in here, and they're going to drive, and they're driving in here as fast as they possibly, as furious as they possibly can. We're going to kill up all of them now because they're on the other side. We're going to wipe them out. And they get in the midst of this thing, Pharaoh and his army, and now their wheels fall off. And they say, hold on, y'all, stop, let's go back, because their God is fighting for them. Because Israel had done nothing. They didn't have any swords, any knives, nothing. They recognized that God was fighting for it, but it was too late. Because he made the wheels to come off their chariot. And while they were trying to run and go back the other way, he closed the water. And the water covered them all up and drowned every one of them. Because he told them, you will never see your enemy again from this day forward. And they didn't. Because he killed all of them. Wiped them all out. So they had no enemy left in Egypt. Nothing. Because he wiped them all out. That's spiritual war. If I've got God with me, he's more than the armies of Egypt against me. Nothing. Long as I'm doing what's right. I'm not going to get my nose up in the air like I got it going on in a bag of chips, like it's about me. Because I guarantee you, I'll be digging for the rest of your life, my life, everybody else's life. And I would never dig a tunnel deep enough or wide enough to get all them people through. On dry ground, man, I'd be digging out the Red Sea forever. I could get a pump and stick it in the water and pumping it out. I'll be pumping out water for ages to come. Still never get it all out. And by that time, the enemy been to wipe me out. But the Lord fought for them because an angel, pillar of fire, he was a pillar of cloud that was leading them, turned into a pillar of fire and went to the rear and guarded them. Now, if I'm Egypt and I see that, I'm leaving in. But they hung around, thinking they can get through. Okay, you don't see this. Now you watch and you see the sea part. You're watching the whole, Egypt is watching the whole thing. They got a bird's eye view where they're watching everything that's going on. So you see this pillar of fire is keeping you from being able to get to them. And then you see the Red Sea open and you see them crossing over. You don't leave? You understand? You gonna go after them anyway? No. I'd be like, bruh, let's go back to the land. Leave them folks alone. Let them go. They're out of here. See you later. Sayonara. Thanks for the time in Egypt. We're going to get somebody else. But no, they followed them into the sea. And then their wheels came off. And then they started falling left and right. And he did that to bog them down so they couldn't get out. Because he had promised them, you'll never see your enemy, Egypt, ever again from this day forward. And they didn't. Egypt never pursued them, never came after them. Why? Because all of them were dead. All of the army of Israel was wiped out, including Pharaoh. Gone. See, that's what God does when he fights for you. So you got these examples of God fighting for you. You think he fights for you? It's a spiritual thing. And if I'm not spiritual minded, I won't see it. Look at 2 Kings 6. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this one. This was always one of my favorites. Okay, along with 15,000 others. But yeah, this one here was always one of my favorites. I always drew upon this one. 'Cause I thought this was just so cool what happened, for lack of a better word. Now, it talked about all the things. Now we're dealing with Elisha. Instead of Elijah, this is Elisha. And Elisha saw Elijah go up. When he saw him go up, his mantle came down and fell upon him, and he asked for a double portion of what Elijah had as far as being a prophet of God. He wanted a double portion of what he had. So there were some kids, and this is the thing, don't be a bad kid, because you might pay for it. There were some kids, and they started mocking Elisha. And they started talking to him about his master. Said, "Go up, old bald head, go up." So Elijah tried to walk away, but he couldn't. And he turned around and he cursed him. Immediately, 2 she-bears came out of the woods and tore 42 of them into pieces. Read it. I want to tell people, I want to read the Bible. Maybe be some interesting stories back here, especially the Old Testament. It be some interesting thing back here. You mess with the man of God. You mess with a prophet. See what happened to you. He cursed them. And those she-bears came out of the wood. They didn't mess with Elijah. No, they went to them kids and took 42 of them. And you can just see a bear just rip, I love the 42, just ripped them to shreds. Because of the way that they were doing. The way they were disobeying and disrespecting the man of God. So, I mean, you better be careful. Because you don't know what's going to happen, what's going to go on. You disrespect, it's not like that today. I can disrespect, okay, keep thinking you can. Now, that wasn't the biggest. Go ahead.
That's what I was telling somebody today. They went and made this picture, and they put 8 people in this picture. They put Joyce Myers, like 8 of the biggest ones in the picture, and called them all false prophets and teachers. And said, if you listen to them, you go into hell. And they put it up there. And I told them, that same story you gave them. Yeah, people do things, and yeah, they may have done some stuff and said some stuff. But you cannot call these people not of God. You can't do it. You don't know who they are. You don't know where they came from. You don't know their story. The last thing you want to do is say, even Elon and stuff he did, the last thing you want to say is he's not of God, he's a false prophet. You cannot do that because you don't know what God will turn around and do to you for calling him out like that. Now, what they did is wrong. They done something wrong, of course. But if you can't go to that person and say it to them, the last thing you want to do is say it about them. The last thing you want to do. And that story right there proved it. Keep your mouth out for the people that don't do it. Pray for them, please. Don't sit there and say they're not close. Don't do that.
Pray for them, go on. Because to God, they rise or fall. They're his servant. He deals with them. That's not my job. If he put them up, he knows I take them down. It's not my job. Not my job. I see what they've done. I don't agree with what they've done. I don't agree with how they did it. What they did was wrong, but it's not my job to pick them up or to put them down. It's not on me. I don't need to do that. If I ever see him, I'd love to talk to him. I'd love to share the gospel with him. I'd love to be able to encourage him to get right with the Lord. Any of them. Same thing. If I was doing something wrong, I would pray somebody would come to me in the spirit of meekness and talk to me and share with me the forgiveness of Christ, the unction of getting forgiveness, walking in righteousness, being made whole by God. I wish somebody would say that to me. That would be a great thing. But that person is of God. You better watch yourself putting your mouth on them. You have to be ever so careful. I mean, I like what they do. But the person, I'm going to pray for. That God would open up their eyes before it's too late. That's what this is about. After all these exploits, all this stuff that Elisha did after Elijah went up, here here some Syrians are going to come down, and they were going to attack Israel. So when they come into the camp, they got it surrounded. And the servant of Elisha he had another servant named Gehazi. But Gehazi paid a price. Naaman was his downfall. He said Naaman was his downfall. Yeah, Naaman was his downfall. Because when Naaman came to Elisha to be healed after the young servant had spoken to him and told him to go to him because he was a man of God to get healing of the leprosy that he had. And he thought he would come out and say some historical words, Holla Shabbat to the church! You know, and there'd be violins and all. I don't know what he was looking for. He was looking for something dramatic. It didn't happen. Elijah told him, go down there and wash in that dirty Jordan River 7 times. When you come up with 7 times, you'll be clean. Oh, I thought he would come out and pronounce a word. I'm not going to do that. He's like, well, hold on. You came all this way? Because he spoke to you, these things, which he didn't even speak it himself. He sent Gehazi to tell him. He didn't even come out the house. He wanted nothing to do with it. So he goes and he dips the 7 times. Well, he had promised Elisha all these gifts, all this stuff he had brought. He told him, I don't want nothing from you. Not one thing. Because, see, they were at war with Israel. He wasn't siding with the Syrians. I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't like you. I don't like your people. I don't like what they're doing to my people. So he wasn't going to take any gifts from him. But Gehazi, after everybody else had gone, he ran down the road a little bit. Yo, king. Elisha had changed his mind. He said he'd get a couple of little things from you. So he got some things from him, gave him some gold, gave him some garments and everything else. So he takes it and he hides it. And he goes into the house. So Elisha said, where you been? Oh, just down the road a bit. He said, did not my heart go with you when you went and ran to the king? Now, this is a prophet. You think he don't know what's going on? You think God has not revealed to him what? He said, did I not go with you? Did not my spirit go with you when you went down there? He said, now the leprosy that left Naaman is now on you. And he turned lily white. That's why you don't see Gehazi anymore. He left the scene. So now he's got another servant. And now this servant is a servant in training. Because this servant don't know what's going on. You messing with the mighty man of God. So he going to find out how mighty he is. He's seen some things, but he don't know Elisha for Elisha. He think about Elijah. No. This one has twice as much of an anointing than he did. So now, here they come. These Syrians come by. They're surrounded the city. Look at verse 15. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Now listen, the army of Israel was decimated. They didn't even know what was going on. They're being surrounded by people and they're asleep. So they're not even ready for battle. These people have horses and chariots ready for battle. And here Elisha is saying, oh, don't sweat the small stuff, like my uncle used to say. There's more with us than there are with them. He probably look at Elijah like, okay, maybe you bumped your head somewhere. Maybe that axe that you got up out of the wall, maybe it hit you accidentally. Something's wrong with you. I'm looking out here, and they got the whole city compassed. What's wrong with you? How can it be? Listen to what he said. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. I'm talking spiritual warfare now. Watch what happens. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. Well, hold on. He was already awake? Wasn't he already? No. We're going to see spirit now. You're going to see spirit now. And he opened his eyes and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Now, wait a minute now. One chariot of fire came and got Elijah. He got a mountain full. I'm telling you, the anointing of Elisha was more than double. It was, God poured out upon this man because of his obedience. Because wherever Elijah went, he went. Elijah told him, stay here. You know, I'm following you. Wherever you go, I'm to see you go up. He said, no, stay here in this city. Get you something to eat. You know, I'm going to go look for. No, where you go, I go. He was committed. He left his family, left all. He was committed.